Hey y'all, the kids are back in school now, which means I'm bringing back the kids' Lunchbox videos. And I'm actually pumped to pack their lunches this year because they're now at an age where they're not as picky as they used to be. So I can offer a better variety, which is going to make it easier on myself. And for reference, my daughter is in the 4th grade now. She's 9 years old, and my son is in 2nd grade. He is 7. The only downside for me to packing their lunches is the fact that I'm not a morning person. I have a really hard time getting going in the mornings, and I do prefer to pack their lunches the morning of, so I have to get up pretty early to do this. But overall, I do enjoy doing it for them because I love knowing that they're going to have foods that they enjoy at school, and it can brighten their day. So I hope by filming these, it can be helpful for anyone out there who's looking for some ideas because I know it can be challenging. So here we are, their first day of school. I have just primed their thermoses. That kettle was full of boiling water, so I poured it in the thermoses, sealed the lid on, and I like to let it sit anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, and then I go and dump out the water. So that activates the thermos, and it is so very important. If you are new to this and you have never heard of this, just please know, like, you have to do this if you want your kids' food to be hot at lunchtime. So also, I love this little hack of this little plastic cannon funnel. I got mine for super cheap at Walmart, and you just pop it on top of the thermos, and it just makes it easier to get the food in there without making a huge mess. I still tend to make a little bit of a mess sometimes, but it really does help, and it makes it go quicker. And I made them their own little pot of cheesy potato soup. I always like to try and make their first day of school like extra special. So I tend to try harder on their first day of school lunch, and they both have been requesting potato soup for a bit now, so I knew that I wanted to do it for the first day of school. I will be including the recipe here after this clip because it's very simple, it's very cheap, and anyone that ever tries it immediately asks me for the recipe, and once you see how easy it is, you're gonna be like, what is so special about it? But my kids really love it, and they still can be a little bit picky about their dinner, but they've always loved soup. So here we are with that potato soup recipe. As you can see, very few ingredients, and I am making a half batch. Like I said, I'm just making it for them, so I don't even need all of these ingredients. But I'm going to start off with about 2.5 pounds of russet potatoes. I will actually use a food scale to weigh out the potatoes just to make sure everything turns out accurately the way that we like it each time. I like it to be consistent. So I am just peeling those potatoes, and I go and wash them really well. So I just lay those out on a cutting board. As you can see, I got them all peeled. They're all washed. And now I'm just going in and cutting these potatoes into little bite-sized pieces. So I'm just going to show myself chopping up one of these potatoes just so you can kind of get the gist of it, but I'm sure most of you know how to dice up potatoes. But after I get all of these done, I'm just going to transfer them to a large pot like so. I typically cover these with 3 cups of chicken broth, but this time I'm just going to do some water and some chicken bouillon base. I guess that's what you call it. And this is the roasted chicken bouillon. So I did 3 cups of water and a little spoonful of that chicken base. I was trying to save a couple dollars there and use what I have. But I brought that up to a boil. I let those potatoes cook for about 12 minutes until they're fork tender. And then once the potatoes are done, you do not drain that chicken broth. You want to keep it. And then you add in a can of cream of chicken soup and about 1/2 cup of sour cream. So I'm just stirring that to get all of that melted. And then I'm going to start seasoning it up. So I'm going to go in with some onion and garlic powder, lots of black pepper because that's so good in potato soup, and just a little bit of salt. So I'm going to stir that to get that incorporated. And then I'm going to turn it down to low, and I'm going to add in about 1 cup of some shredded sharp cheddar cheese. I really recommend the sharp cheddar. I think it complements it the best. It's my favorite cheese to cook with. But after that cheese is melted, that's it. It is done. It comes together so quick, and as you can see, it is velvety, it is thick. It is just perfect. So got that covered with a lid, and once it cooled down, I just stuck that in my fridge. I did do this the night before. I don't think I've said that yet. So all I had to do the morning of was heat it back up on the stovetop. I also cooked some bacon in the oven because my daughter loves bacon and she really likes it on top of her potato soup. So I'll take a couple of those pieces and crumble it for her. My son does not like that. But here we are, back to that first day of school. Like I said, I heated that soup back up on the stove the morning of, put it in those prime thermoses, and I just topped their soup with a little extra cheese, just like we would do at home if we were having it for dinner. And then I'm going to immediately put that lid on there to trap the heat. I see a lot of videos, and I promise no judgment, we're all doing our best. But sometimes those lids get left off for too long once the food is added, and that's going to make the heat escape quickly. So it's important to seal it immediately. I only say that because I want to give you all my best knowledge on how to keep your kids' food hot. So to go along with it, I'm also going to give them each a King's Hawaiian roll. This is the buttery version, not the sweet one. I figured that would go really good with the soup. My kids are big roll lovers, or bread in general lovers. Like if we're at a restaurant or home, they will have several rows. So I'm just going to do one roll per little baggie. I like to keep a big box of these snack size Ziploc bags on hand. I buy them at Walmart in a big box. It's just a great value brand. They're cheap and they're perfect for lunch boxes. So those are ready to just be tossed in their lunch box. And I'm also going to give them each some fresh strawberries that I have washed and chopped. My kids love strawberries, so they have them very often. They are very much the type of kids that will sit down with a container and eat the whole thing, which I'm cool with because they're healthy, obviously, and strawberries go bad so quickly. I would rather them be eaten up quickly. So I did get these new little side containers, again from Walmart. It came in a 2-pack for cheap. If I can find it online, I will link it in the description box. They've really been loving them. Perfect for fruit or anything, really. And there's Riley's little side container of bacon bits for her soup. And now I'm going to pack up their lunch boxes. So I'll always start off with a napkin. And then if you've watched my older videos, you will notice that I did get them new thermoses this year. They are using their same backpack and lunch boxes from last year, which is new for us, but everything was in perfect condition. So I was like, why not? I did, of course, run everything through the washing machine. It all looks brand new, but I was like, since I saved money there, I'm going to upgrade some of their lunchbox stuff. So anyways, I also gave them each a Capri Sun in the Pacific Cooler flavor. These are the kids' current favorite drink mixes for their water bottles. It's the Dole brand, and I really like buying these because they are dye-free, and just adding that flavor enhancement definitely, encourages them to drink all of their water. These come home empty every day, but the kids did pick out new water bottles for the school year. These did come from Walmart, and they really like them. I also ordered some name labels to put on the water bottles because we have had trouble in the past with them losing their water bottles. So I ordered them from Temu, which I'm new to. I've just started getting into that. I can see the hype, but they did not come in on time for the first day of school. But I'll show them to you once I get them in. But here we are. They are back from school. A lot of you guys like to see what they actually end up eating, so I am going to include that in these videos. So starting with Riley, she ate all of her strawberries. She ate all of that bacon. She ate her roll. The juice is gone. I was checking to make sure that spoon was in there, which I don't think I even talked about. It does come with a spoon in the top of those thermoses, and it folds out, and it's big, and it's good quality. The kids really like them. But as you can see, she ate all of her soup, and she was bragging all day about how good it was once she got home. And then for Boston, he ate all of his strawberries. He did not eat his roll, which I was shocked about, but really they just don't get a lot of time to eat, so it's all good. He can eat it later, whatever. And he left just a little bit of soup in the bottom, so I would say the first day was a success. Next up, I'm going to be making the kids some strawberry Nutella French toast roll-ups. This was a new recipe that I was trying out for them, and these were a huge hit. The kids love them. So I started off with just some regular old white sandwich bread, and I did cut the crust off, as you can see, and then I'm just going in with my rolling pin, and I just rolled that out until it was nice and thin. Then I went and grabbed my jar of Nutella. The kids absolutely love Nutella, so I like to incorporate that into their lunchbox in different ways. But yeah, I just spread on a thin layer of it in the center of that bread. I did leave a little rim around the edge, as you can see. And then I'm going to take a strawberry and dice it up into small little pieces and just put that along the bottom. These won't hold too many strawberries, so you definitely don't want to overstuff it if you choose to make these. But I just rolled that up tightly like so, and then I repeated that 3 more times because I am going to give 2 for each kid. So in a little shallow dish, I cracked in 1 egg, and then I just added in a splash of milk, and then with my fork, I got that whisked together really good. So I've got a skillet heating up over on my stove, and I am going to be cooking these in butter. So I'm just melting a thin layer of butter in the bottom of that skillet, and then I'm just going to take these little French toast roll-ups one by one, dunk them in that egg wash, and then put them same side down in my buttered hot skillet. As soon as these French toast roll-ups come out of that skillet, they are going to be rolled in some cinnamon sugar. So I'm getting that prepared now. I'm just going to add a decent amount, just as much as I think I would need, to the bottom of a little shallow bowl. And then as for these roll-ups, these cook up very quickly. I would say it takes like maybe a minute per side. I do have these on about a medium-high heat. So like I said, after about a minute, I will start rotating these. And you need to keep in mind that you definitely want to get the sides of these. You're not just cooking the top and the bottom. You got to get the sides so that they won't be soggy and so that the eggs won't be undercooked or anything like that. But yeah, very little time. And then as you can see, as they are coming out of that skillet, I'm rolling them in that cinnamon sugar. And I'm just placing these in their bento boxes. These are from last year. The kids really love them. I love them. I bought them at Kroger. I got them on sale, and they have held up great. This is the one that's designed for older kids. I want to say it's called the Bento Fresh, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But anyways, to go along with it, I'm also going to give them some pretzel sticks. They have been on a pretzel kick lately, which I love. I feel like it's a good, healthy little snack, perfect for lunch boxes. I'm also going to throw in some of these Colby Jack cheese cubes. My kids love these, and they're cheap. I'm also going to give them some of this vanilla Greek yogurt. My kids ate a lot of this over summer break. They really enjoy it, and I just think it's more cost effective to buy like the big tub of it. I am going to sprinkle on some of these rainbow sprinkles. These particular ones are dye-free, which I think is really cool. And I'm also going to do just a little pinch of these mini chocolate chips. So just makes it a little festive. Now I'm going to get everything packed up and ready to go. I love how their bento boxes fit perfectly in their lunch bag. I did get them new ice packs this year. You guessed it. I bought them at Walmart. I got them each a 2-pack. I want to say they were like $3 a piece. But yeah, I like how they're flat and they're wide. We hadn't had those type before, and it just makes so much sense. But I gave them each a napkin, a spoon for their yogurt, and Capri Sun is definitely their drink of choice. And it's dye-free. So fast forward to the end of the day. Here's Riley's. She drank all of her juice, and her box is completely empty. So she really enjoyed her lunch. And then moving on to Boston. See how he did. Same thing. He ate everything. Up next, we're going to attempt some walking tacos in their lunchbox for the first time. It's technically nachos, but the kids really like to call it walking tacos, and it's one of their favorite meals to have at home, so I really wanted to find a way to let them do this at school. So I'm just cooking up some taco meat. It's just basic: a pound of ground beef, packet of taco seasoning, and of course the water that the packet calls for, and I just let that simmer until it was thickened. I don't believe I've ever packed up taco meat for their school lunch, but it's something that they really enjoy. So I'm glad that we finally tried this out. So I've already got their thermos primed. It set the whole time that I was cooking the taco meat. So I just went and dumped out that water. I'm adding my little funnel, and then I measured out a 1/2 cup of that taco meat. That is more than enough for what I'm using it for. I was nervous about this staying hot because it's like less than half full, but both kids told me that it was nice and hot when it was their lunchtime, because I always make sure to ask. I've never had an issue with them saying their food's been cold in these. So I got that immediately sealed up. And then here's a better look at those spoons that I was telling y'all about that does come included with the thermos. So I'm just getting those folded up and put into the little spot they're supposed to go in. The first couple of times that I did this, I had a little bit of trouble getting it to pop in, but now that some time has passed, I finally got the hang of it and it's pretty easy. So anyways, now I'm going to grab the chips that I'm going to be using for the walking tacos. So it's just the Great Value, thin and crispy, cantina style tortilla chips. My kids really like these. So I'm just going to fill up 2 Ziploc bags with these chips. It's a little bit cheaper than buying like individual bags or whatever. You could do Doritos if you wanted to. That's really good with this, but those do have dyes in them, and we are not 100% dye free or anything like that. I'm definitely not perfect with it. I just restrict it when I can, and I'm telling you, with my kids anyways, it's like daylight and dark when it comes to them having dyes versus not. So they both love tortilla chips. That's what I'm doing. So I'm just adding it to this little divided container. Again, I got them at Walmart. They're from last year. I think they were like $3 a piece, and they're super handy. And the idea is they're going to crush up those chips in the bag and then dump it out. Add their taco meat on top and then sprinkle on some cheese. So I just added some cheese that I shredded myself into these little disposable containers that comes with lids. I love those, super handy. And sometimes my daughter likes to add some taco sauce to her nachos, so I gave her a couple Taco Bell packets. My son doesn't like that. And then they're also going to get some grapes. They have been requesting the purple ones or red, whatever you want to call them. So I just washed and cut those in half. I do have a grape cutter, but I think I'm going to finally retire that and give it to a friend or something because it cuts it into quarters, and I feel like that's a little bit too small for their age. So, like I said, I'm just cutting them in half. I'm a worrywart when it comes to my kids, so I feel like I will always cut their grapes as long as they are under my care. Choking scares me to death. Now it's time to pack it all up. So, of course, the napkin's going in the bottom. Something else that I really love about these particular containers is the fact that it fits perfectly alongside their thermoses in their lunch boxes. So that's great. They're getting their same juice as usual, and they're off to school. So let's go ahead and see how they did. Here's Boston's. His box is completely empty. His spoon came back, and all of his meat is gone. And he said that he really loved how it turned out. And then same thing for Riley. Her box is empty. She did not eat the Taco Bell packets though, which is okay. We'll put it back in the little sauce basket for another time, but all of her meat is gone too. So this is a good one to add to their rotation. I made some sub bread for the first time and they turned out so good. I will definitely link the recipe that I use in the description box in case anyone's interested. But we used some of these for dinner. I made some Philly cheesesteaks with them. That was in my last video. And then I saved some for the kids' lunch boxes, and I'm going to turn these into pizza subs. Now, originally I was going to use both of these, but it wasn't fitting in their lunchbox right. So I decided to just use one and split it between the both of them. And looking back, I could have used both and just cut it in half, turned it sideways in their box, and that would have worked. That's what I mean when I say I'm not a morning person. I cannot think straight. But I will know for next time, and they still had plenty of food to fill them up, so it's all good. But anyways, I just split open that sub roll. I added some shredded mozzarella cheese to both sides, and now I'm just adding on some pizza sauce on top of that cheese. We've really been liking this Classico one lately. It has a really great taste to it. We also like the squeeze kind that starts with a C. I cannot remember what that's called. That and the Chef Boyardee one. That's all three of our like go-to pizza sauces. And then I'm adding some more shredded mozzarella cheese over top of the pizza sauce. And then I'm going to go in and just layer on some pepperonis. I do have my oven preheated to, I believe it was 400 degrees. So I'm just going to get that transferred to a parchment lined cookie sheet and pop that in for a few minutes. While that's in the oven, I'm going to get their sides into their box. So both kids really love these white cheddar Cheez-Its. So I'm going to give them both that, fill it into the larger part of the box. And then I'm also going to give them some fresh pineapple. They both helped me plan out the lunches for this video, and they both requested pineapple. In every one of these videos, I get a lot of comments on the kids not getting like fresh raw vegetables. And I just want to say my kids will not eat those. They will eat cooked vegetables in some meals that I cook, but I cannot get them to eat raw vegetables. Once in a blue moon, Riley might eat some baby carrots, but other than that, I'm just not going to waste money. So it just doesn't bother me. But alongside their pizza subs, I'm also going to throw in one of these Go-Go Squeeze applesauce pouches. I've never seen these ones before. I got them at Target. One's in the apple flavor and the other is in the grape orange. And my kids really like the design on it. Here, I'm just getting everything thrown into their lunchbox. So we've got the napkin, the bent go box. I'm going to include a plastic fork just to make eating their pineapple easier. And then they're going to try out these wild cherry Capri Suns for the first time. I know that these are not new, but they are new to them. It was my first time buying it, and they both said that they really liked it. So I will definitely be repurchasing those. And so they're back from school. Let's see how they did. Here's Boston's. His box was completely empty. And then same thing for Riley. They both ate everything. So we had another successful day. Now we are on to the last lunch in this video. So I'm starting off with some prime thermoses. I'm getting that water dumped out. And since I'm going to be adding in dry food, I am going to take a paper towel and quickly wipe out the excess water. And I'm also going to put a folded up paper towel into the bottom of each one. It's supposed to help prevent the food from getting soggy. So here's what I'm adding to the thermoses. This is new for us. I've never seen this before. It's these little taco bites that are in the frozen section. I found mine at Kroger. I got them for $1 each, and I just had to quickly cook those up in the microwave, and I was surprised with how many came in the box. It was enough to fill it to the very top. So it's basically like a pizza roll, but instead of like pepperoni and cheese and sauce, it's got taco meat and cheese. And this was definitely one of those days for me where everything was going wrong. As soon as my feet was hitting the floor, it was one thing after another. So I definitely needed something really simple and quick and just a no-brainer. So to go along with it, I'm also going to give them some sliced apples. Their favorite variety is the Golden Delicious apples. I have a hard time finding those, but I can usually get them at my local Save-A-Lot. And I know there's lots of methods on how to preserve them, but lately I have been doing nothing to them because I cut them up right before they head out the door. They're going into an airtight container, and they've never complained. So it's something I'm no longer going to stress about. And this Jif chocolate peanut butter is so good. This is our second jar of it, and we love it. It's really good with apple slices, so I'm just getting some added to a little disposable container, the ones I've been showing all throughout the video. So I gave them each half of the apple. I try to be very mindful of their appetites and how much, time they have to actually eat. So I got those added into their containers, and the chocolate peanut butter cups fit right on top perfectly, which that made me happy. So I'm just getting everything sealed up and ready to go. Name labels finally came in, and I said I would show it to y'all. So it's very simple, but I was really happy with them. I want to say that they were like $3.36 each, but it came with a bunch of labels. I can't remember the exact amount, but I can add those things to everything. I wish I did that like the years prior. It's such a simple but smart idea. So here we are checking to see how they did. Riley ate all of her apples and chocolate peanut butter, and she ate all of the little taco bites. So did Boston. Every time I pick them up, we have a discussion about their lunch, and they both really enjoyed those. So I'll definitely rebuy those. I kind of want to try them myself. I thought they sounded good and they smelled good. And Boston ate everything. He did not drink his juice though. He tends to do that sometimes. But that is going to wrap up this video. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you got some different ideas. I also hope that all of the kiddos have a really great and successful school year. And I will see y'all real soon in my next video.